I think it's fantastic to recognize students who are taking risks with their dissertation projects, students who are thinking outside of the box. And I think that's one special thing that the Jacobus Prize allows us to recognize at Princeton.
I'm Adam Lerner. I'm a graduate student working at the intersection of philosophy and cognitive science, and my dissertation is on the role of empathy in ethics.
Adam isn't afraid to stake out positions that are challenging to people. He's not afraid to occupy controversial areas of the intellectual terrain. And he's also never hesitates to employ the most cutting edge or innovative techniques in order to test those.
This is a lemon. And okay, so probably if you're like most people, when you saw me bite into that lemon, your mouth itself puckered. You might have even felt some saliva pooling into your mouth. That may not have happened to you, but it happens to lots of people when they see another person eating a lemon. And that is, you were simulating what it's like to eat a lemon automatically. You didn't have to try, it was just automatic. So that's one way in which you might simulate someone else's experience. Another is if you see someone, cutting a lemon and they slip and accidentally cut their finger, you might withdraw your own finger as if you would cut your finger and even wince. You're simulating what it's like to cut your finger. It doesn't feel exactly the same way as cutting your own finger, but it's some faint echo of the pain you would feel if you cut your own finger. So that's an example of sort of automatic mirroring form of empathy, where you just automatically simulate the experience of the other person. But there are other forms of empathy that are more deliberate. So you can read a novel and try to imagine what it's like to be someone, to be the protagonist. You can also use virtual reality devices to put yourself in the shoes of another person, to imagine what it's like to be a refugee fleeing from war, to imagine what it's like to be an animal raised on a factory farm. These are all ways you can empathize deliberately with other people or beings in general, such as animals. And these are all different forms of simulating or sharing other people's mental lives. And I think that's the kind of empathy that I investigate in my dissertation.